I'm Mike Black, and starting July 10th, I'm leaving behind my 7-figure business, putting all my belongings in storage. I'm draining my bank account to $0, and I won't even have a place to live.
I promise you, I will repay you for all of this.
I'm cutting off my entire network, my friends, my family, my mentors, all my connections.
Do you feel the pressure of having people look at you, of potentially failing in public? Does that keep you up at night? Does that keep you from functioning day to day?
Absolutely not. I love the fact that things aren't going.
I got it.
Because it's real.
I was not expecting it to be this challenging.
In 2020, in the middle of a global pandemic, when everyone was scared for their lives and safety, when everyone were panicking and counting every single penny, Mike decided to risk it all and challenge himself through the toughest battle of his life. He decided to give up everything he owned, cut down everyone he knew, and go homeless in order to return as a millionaire once again, while documenting every single step of his journey. For Mike, this act was not only to challenge himself, but to prove to the entire world that anyone could do the same. And how could you fail when everyone is watching, right?
Is that lighting real bad?
Yeah, that is really bad.
Is it working? Testing. All right, so what we learned is that we just keep this on auto.
Before starting a new chapter of his life, Mike first decided to change his identity.
Scott Black. But where should I say I work?
For like Peters.
This is so weird.
He did that in order to avoid being recognized by any people he would interact with along the way.
No unfair advantages. I have a new identity. Scott is ready to go. Won't have a toothbrush, deodorant. I won't have anything. This is my one pair of clothes that I'm taking with me. Time to turn in the keys, baby. All right, the keys are officially turned in. My network is now cut off. I can't use any of my past connections. I can't use anything. This is official. The project has started. I am worried about water. It's 100 degrees out today. It's very hot here in Austin. Do you have any like water cups by any chance? Just gave me this little Minzy ass Dixie cup. That's fine.
First and foremost, Mike needed a place to sleep, so he just made a bunch of accounts, offering himself as a person who would do any type of work in exchange for a place with a roof and a couch.
I'm gonna have to get real creative real quick. I did have someone message me on Craigslist that said they'll give me $100 if I let them. I don't think I'm that desperate yet, but today has been not a great day. Didn't make any money. This is my bench right here that I'm gonna be sleeping on tonight.
And that's when most people would give up, but for Mike, it was too late. He made a promise not only to himself, but to his family and the entire world. He knew he didn't have a choice but to continue his journey.
Something amazing happened. Out of nowhere, at like 11 o'clock, this kid hit me up. He offered to pick me up. It's amazing that people like this exist. Isaac just drove 10 miles to grab me. He even brought me food.
I promise you, I will repay you for all of this.
Being homeless sucks. That's all I'm gonna say. It really sucks. Man, this was really eye-opening to some of the challenges that people struggle with that are homeless. When you have nowhere to go, absolutely nothing, it is really challenging to even like figure out how you're gonna find a job, how you're gonna make money. I don't know how people do it. I would have been totally screwed if this individual didn't help me, so.
Like Mike said, when you don't have a roof over your head and no place to sleep, it is basically impossible to think of such things as making money. Instead, you think about trivial things like surviving. Luckily enough, Mike already had a place to stay, at least for a few days, so he decided to start with the easiest method, flipping stuff.
So what I started doing is just taking ads on Craigslist in the free section, putting it on Facebook Marketplace, and selling it for a profit. I just sold my first couch for $100. Let's do it, baby. We're in business. I officially have $300 in my bank account now.
With that money, Mike was finally able to buy himself the essentials, some clothes and deodorant, as well as some food.
All I've had for the last 3 days is just like one protein bar every day.
So the next day, repeating the exact same process, Mike was able to make some more money and buy himself a brand new laptop.
Oh, you mean this? Oh yeah, that's just a brand new used Chromebook.
Oh, it's just not working. Christ, this computer sucks.
Even if Mike was fortunate enough to have a place to stay, the problem was that he couldn't work from there. The internet was poor and there were cockroaches everywhere.
Like salamander lizard thing in my fucking clothes. That thing is like hanging in. Ooh! I had to run out this door because there's like 20 bees.
So he needed to find a solution quickly, and so he did.
And I got super lucky. There was an office space that was only 5 miles from where I lived, and it was only $40 a month.
At that moment, Mike had only $45 in total savings, so he spent everything and drained his bank account to nearly $0 in order to join the co-working space and start working as a freelancer.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming out today.
He applied to 10 different jobs and was accepted for 3 of them. His first job was in telemarketing, doing political surveys.
Holy shit. I don't even know what I'm saying. I literally don't know what I'm doing.
The next 2 jobs were as a virtual assistant for a law firm, where he was paid $25 per hour, and as a delivery driver, where Mike tried to beat the time record and do the delivery as fast as he could.
Best delivery driver ever.
Best delivery driver ever.
You hear that? Best delivery driver in the business.
On top of that, Mike started his own marketing agency, helping e-com stores run ads. In the meantime, Isaac, the guy who helped Mike and got him off the street, told him that he had 1 week to find a new place to live because he had decided to move out and sell the RV. So Mike didn't hesitate and decided to pay him back by using his flipping skills.
Hey Isaac, if they're gonna try to lower it, they're gonna go from 8,000 to either 7,500 or 7,000.
I'll just take 7,000 for it. You guys can just pay 2,000 right now.
That's 7,000 in cash right here. This is the most money I've ever held.
While closing a great deal by helping Isaac sell the RV for $2,000 more than its original cost, Mike still didn't have a place to live, so he decided to sleep at the office.
We got option number 1, leather. Option number 2, we got a nice little texture here, get a little pillow. Then we got option 3, covert.
Just riding my brand new bike. Watch out, ladies. If you're looking for a sugar daddy, hit me up.
I just got an offer for $150.
However, this time, Mike's flipping talent was going to play a bad joke on him.
All right, so pretty much what happened, I got caught red-handed. I was like, you know what? I'll sell the bike for 200 bucks. This dude's like, yeah, I'll come buy it. And he comes, and he checks it out, and he sees the Goodwill sticker. I fucking forgot to take the Goodwill sticker off. And he's like, wait a second, you bought this at Goodwill for 60 bucks.
60 bucks from Goodwill.
I just froze. I was like, you know what, dude, you caught me. I'll do 150 for it if you still want it for 150. So now I'm bikeless and I have 150 bucks and now I have to find another fucking bike.
However, Mike quickly realized that working for someone else wasn't the most profitable way to make money.
Flipping stuff is cool and everything until you have to spend all the time flipping it and not building your business. Much rather get another client doing $2,000 a month cash flow than spend time flipping this stupid shit.
So he decided to put more effort into his marketing agency, and it actually worked well.
I wanted to see if you'd be interested in kind of like switching up a little bit how we're working together. Instead of like me working for you guys like hourly, do like a retainer model. You already know kind of like the technical of what you want to put together. I'm looking at what's actually trending. I'd like to do like a $2,000 a month retainer. I could like send over an official contract.
And somehow, the person on the other end believed in Mike's words, and he finally got his first client.
This is a big day. So the wire just came through. 1,500 bucks. Deal's not done till the contract's signed and the money's in the bank. I have money now.
Now, Mike was able to move into a small shared apartment, paying only $350 per month, leaving behind the romantic nights in the office.
Is the sacrifices people didn't get to see. I was building the business. They don't see this. They look at that person and go, oh, that person got lucky. Oh, that was a great idea. Now, that person gave up a lot. That person sacrificed a lot.
Shortly after the first client was closed, Mike was on his way to close the second one.
How's it going? It's Mike.
Hey Mike, how are you?
But this time, it went differently.
I want to tell you guys a little bit about business and life. I really like that person. Their mission is amazing. I don't want to charge her.
The thing was, the person calling lost both of her parents to cancer at a very young age, and her goal was to spread awareness and help as many people as possible through her book, in which she described the struggles and how she went through the tough times.
I think in business sometimes it's important. Always try to do the right thing. I always put my morals before business, always. I had to build $1 million business in 12 months and I just turned this girl down because I think she's doing something amazing. I wouldn't feel good bringing in a $2,000 a month retainer from someone like her. Help people, give give back when it makes sense to give back. I offered her to, at cost, use my team, and I will consult for her for free. It's just the right thing to do.
Even if his marketing agency was already profitable, the money it produced wasn't enough to hit $1 million goal in 12 months.
It's Sunday, and I am at the farmer's market here. I came here because I'm looking for people that are selling product that I can maybe partner with and sell online.
So Mike decided to start a side business, this time more traditional, because he was going to sell a real, physical product.
I found a really cool coffee supplier.
The product he was planning on selling was coffee, which might not sound like the best idea because it's a product that is already sold by a lot of people, right? Not really, because Mike wasn't planning to sell the product, but the story around it.
It's really important when you're building any type of business. You have to build story. Who is this coffee for? Do we make coffee for the creators of the world, the grinders of the world? I don't know. We have to figure out who we make this coffee for.
The model that Mike used for creating this business is called private labeling.
I want to start a coffee brand, but I want to bag it under my own company. Create my own packaging, but use their coffee.
In simple terms, it means that the product would be manufactured by one company, but sold under the brand name of another company. So that means that Mike wouldn't have to produce the product, but would sell it under his brand name. And after doing some research and connecting with manufacturers, he was able to decide on his niche, which would be a coffee brand for dog lovers that donates percentage of profits to saving dogs. But it was getting harder and harder to take the next step toward reaching the $1 million milestone, partially because Mike was juggling a lot of processes, and some of them started getting out of hand.
You've got 13 hours, senior level, free work.
If you leave, I'm not going to not pay you.
I don't want to invest any more time into this current project.
It looks like Travis just quit. Things don't work out sometimes. Our animator overseas just quit. She can't just f us over. Like, you don't just quit and say f your video. Today, my designer decided not to work. Hey Jay, how's it going?
So I'm still working on the homepage, sir.
Jay, you logged 2.5 hours. We need to get this site up.
Oh, I see.
You just rejected my call.
How much extra work you had to do because those processes weren't in place, right?
I spent all day yesterday. I'm so tired. Very, very, very tired. I just gotta get out.
Besides that, Mike was spending $25,000 per month on production, money that was spent out of his own pockets, and yet the channel was not blowing up. But when faced with seemingly impossible situations, he knew that the world was watching him, so he came up with the craziest idea that would change everything.
I am finding a location. Let's say it's $4,000 a month to rent, and it has 5 bedrooms. I'm gonna rent out 4 of the bedrooms for $1,000 a month, so it pays for the place, and then that 5th bedroom I would get for free. That is what I call rent hacking. This is gonna be my room. This would be my bathroom. This is another bedroom, the 2nd floor. There's a basement, and there's a top floor. Here's another bedroom. Dude, this place is sick. Made this like a podcast room or something.
He makes it valuable by setting up this house specifically for like-minded entrepreneurs.
$7,000 a month. I could rent out each fucking room for $1,000 and we're done. I'd be going from RV park to this 3 months. Rent free, plus I would make money every single month. How cool is that?
And because his fake identity, Scott, doesn't have a good credit score, he just found someone to co-sign it. And finally, everything was ready to go with the coffee business.
This time, 4 months ago, guys, I was thinking about sleeping on a bench. Isaac didn't pick me up until 11 o'clock. This same time, 4 months ago, homeless. I remember that was such a feeling of defeat. You can change your life. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. The only reason I did that was so you could see that I was starting at a lower point than you. The last 2 weeks have not been good. In fact, they've been the worst 2 weeks of my life. On Tuesday, I learned that my dad was officially diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer.
Wikipedia says that stage 4 colon cancer has a relative 5-year survival rate of about 14%. This means that about 14% of people with stage 4 colon cancer are likely to still be alive 5 years after they are diagnosed.
This came out of nowhere, and I always say, nothing matters, nothing in life really matters other than your health and your family's health.
After so much time struggling, trying to build up a few businesses, finding a place to live, and managing an entire production team while trying to reach a $1 million milestone all at once, Mike was facing the hardest battle of his entire life. Is he going to continue the project like nothing happened, or spend time with his father? Now it was not Mike testing himself, it was life testing him and putting him in front of his worst fear, the fear of losing someone you love the most.
My dad is the single most important person to me in my life. I'm gonna be moving home to spend time with my dad. Hey Dad.
Yo!
How was
You know, they said it's in my lungs, my liver, of course my colon, but they said my arm and my hip, which shocked me. I'm not going to roll over. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. Believe it or not, yes, it could be better, but it'll also be much worse. To me, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Fight, Michael. The fight begins. Don't get upset. I'm so proud of you. You're one of the best men I know. And you have to be my son.
You're not gonna fight it alone.
You see, Mike looked up to his father, who served as an inspiration and the source of his optimism, and even now, when he got a terminal diagnosis, he wasn't scared. Instead, he considered himself the luckiest guy in the world and even convinced Mike to continue the project. On the other hand, the coffee business was growing slowly but surely.
We put up our first TikTok, and TikTok went semi-viral. 130,000 views, almost 3,200 followers. Etsy order. We're on the road to our first $1,000 in revenue already.
So Mike and his team decided to set up a monthly subscription, which would help them turn a one-time customer into a repeat buyer. This way, a person who's trying your product for the first time and ends up loving it might turn into a long-term customer, buying it again and again.
Wait a second.
What?
I think we got our first coffee club subscription. Today is the 9th, and we did 10 orders, so that's our best day yet.
Finally, the cash started flowing in, but Mike was already 7 months into the project and had made only $35,000, which was very far from his $1 million goal. He was still trying to do too many things at once. Building his e-commerce business, spending time with his dad, and working hard on creating content for the YouTube channel, on which he had already spent $250,000. Despite all of this, the channel still had only a few hundred views per video. It got to the point where even his own team began to doubt this idea.
Whoa, is that today?
What?
We got no purchases overnight.
I know.
We spent $41.
The last 7 months were a constant marathon for Mike.
I want to talk about the project real quick. I don't know if I should keep doing it. I really should be helping out my dad with his business.
And with his father's condition getting worse every single day, he got to the point when his own health started declining.
Throughout the entire project, we haven't shared it with you, but I've been in and out of the doctor's office. I actually have 2 autoimmune diseases. Started getting really bad pain in my joints, my hands, my feet, even started developing a tumor on my hip. It's gotten to the point where I'm in pain every single day. I don't even enjoy filming anymore. It's become more of a chore and something that I just dread doing. I've officially decided to end the project early. Now, when people typically look at the different aspects of their life, they break into buckets, and typically those buckets are health, wealth, and relationships. And I realized all 3 of those, I'm actually at the lowest point in my life that I've ever been, ever.
That's how Mike decided to end the project early, failing to hit his initial goal of $1 million. Or did he? You see, in the comments section, a lot of people are divided into 2 different groups. The first group is blaming Mike for quitting the project too early and not achieving his goal, even stating that he wasn't really in a position like other homeless people. He had an entrepreneurial background, was educated, and not addicted to any sort of drug, which gave him a huge advantage. Another group was supporting Mike in his decision. Honestly, there's no shame in cutting it short. I don't think people really expected that you were actually going to end up a millionaire by the end of the year. The point was that you completely transformed your life, starting with literally nothing. If any person started doing the things you did, they'd be in a very different position a year later.